Hello everyone, this is Jordan and today we're going to be talking about Forex Triple B and some of the examples, interesting examples, at least according to the way we are trading this thing. So bear with me, let's begin. We are looking at the previous week, that gives us approximately that much. I'm not sure if we're going to go over all of them depending on the pace, but in any case, if you have any questions about any of these setups or anything else in general, you know where to find us, Telegram groups, email, Skype, whatever, just shoot and we're going to be there for you, explaining as much as possible what and why. All right, let's start from the top. The very first thing is a Ripple. XRP, this is the 15-minute chart, annoying pop-ups again, and here what we can see is that the price is definitely pushing up. I mean, we saw in the past, I don't know, 10 days, 15 days or so, some very decent push from Ripple. So going and looking to buy, the pullbacks actually makes a lot of sense, right? So in this case, what do we have? We have a level, and this is the very first thing for me, almost always, right? We have weekly resistance plus daily support. I'm not sure which number is that, but we hit this level and the price is bouncing. There are no divergences on the higher time frames, the 4-hour chart. I'm pretty sure we can find divergence over here, and then we're going and breaking, right? So this looks absolutely amazing. The only concern I might have in this case is whether this is an impulsive structure or not. Okay. And if I conclude that this is an impulsive structure, I will be careful with something like this. But the way we're looking at it, if this is ABC continuation down, we see that we have a target level in a pretty good place because the daily resistance is above the target. So if we're going to be doing something like this, there is a very good chance for us to catch this target, even if the price is going to do that, right? For a larger ABC. So at that point, looks good. Then we have Frankie M, and for Frankie M, we are looking at sell opportunities. Basically what happens, at least in my opinion, is that we push lower, we have this strong bearish momentum, and then we're stuck in a range. Okay, now this range might be taking different shapes and forms, but overall we're zigzagging inside this thing. And look at the length of the range. So basically we're pushing, and this is where we found a bottom, and this is the pullback. So starting from this zone up to here, that's a lot. So even only based on time, that thing starts to look interesting because the price cannot continue arranging in a zigzag forever. Of course, we've seen some examples, but in general, especially if we have strong momentum in a bigger picture, in the higher time frames, we know that this consolidation is eventually going to end. Okay, so this is where the conditions were met. This is where we start to see the cloud, expecting the price to continue lower. Now, what's super important for me in this case is that we managed to go below this weekly zone, right? Fight a bit, and then we're back below. So from that point on, we're definitely trading below this level. And this is another attempt to go ahead and find the zone. So pretty much that's the place where we would be looking for the sell opportunities. Now, if you're trading ranges, this is not at all a good place to trade because the way I'm trading the ranges is you sell the top, you buy the bottom. And usually you want to go with the direction. So in this case, we are not going to do this. We're only going to do that, sell the tops, right? But as I said, this is not a range only. We're just looking at the larger view. Plus, you might be considering this thing as some sort of shrinking pattern which broke and now is playing around this zone, not being able to go back and create the actual false break and continue up. So I mean, again and again and again, it just makes sense, at least in my opinion, that this could be sold, especially when we look at the higher time frames. Okay, how do we exit? Anyway, that's about this one. Then we have Ripple once again, 15-minute chart. That was probably before the situation we saw. Yeah, that's the first time, but the idea is pretty much the same. No need to repeat the same analysis. First divergence, and then you have the second divergence after the failure. Okay, so that's pretty much the same idea. Pound franc for the buys, we have 1 hour, 4 hour charts supporting no divergence. Weekly level was touched right here. Another attempt kind of creating a double bottom. And then what we can say is that we have a decent double wave down. That would be a trend line, which technically speaking, I would adjust, right? Because after this, we can see that it's not a real breakout, it's just the price lagging here, creating basically nothing. So it gives us a flat move. In this flat move, it doesn't break the line, it just interacts with the line. Breakout is when you have power behind the move, right? This is not a breakout, this is just the price and the time factor. The price is not moving, right? So yeah, I will be more or less adjusting it. And now that starts to look like a breakout. Plus we have, I think this is the fractal that we're working with, because this is the last time we touch the bottom and the cloud breakout, trend line breakout, expectation for continuation to the upside. Maybe we should have seen how it ended. Okay. All right, you got it, because I'm clicking in no sense places. Litecoin, next one. This is from the 10th. Litecoin for buys. Well, this is, I mean, kind of extremely clear what's happening. We had a zone attempt to go lower, failed attempt, then we're going higher. So that zone remains. This is where we start to get the levels based on the formulas. Push up, then we're doing this kind of corrective pattern, we're breaking. This is, I believe, the fractal that we're working with after touching it here. No divergences, expecting continuation up. Now notice where the target is much lower than the previous weekly resistance. If the target had to be here somewhere on the top, no problem with that, place it there. But if possible, and if you're around the PC and if you have the chance to do that, maybe it's a good idea to go ahead and follow up on this thing as it develops, right? Maybe you want to start trailing the stop a bit. I don't know, just the way I look at these things. All right, last one. Let's cover one more and then we can wrap it up. Of course, again, if you have questions, guys, go ahead and pose them. We're going to get back to you. So push up, this is clearly arranging. Attempt to continue lower, failed, right? Second attempt to continue lower, even though we have the spike here and we can extend this range a bit, right? But this is where the most of it concentrates. So attempt to push up, and the idea is to continue higher. For me personally, I'm really biased. Of course, we have the weekly here, the divergence. I'm super biased when it comes to indices. I'm almost always looking for buys. So maybe if that was a Forex pair, for example, I would definitely not be looking into buys here. But as this is an index, for me, it's a bit easier to pull the trigger on such things. So for me personally, that makes sense. The thing is, if you're wondering why, this is why, right? It's strictly about the instrument here, nothing else. All right, as I said, let's stop here. Any question is welcomed. I hope these videos are useful for you. Wishing you a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next recording. Bye for now.